If you take a drive past your local truck dealership right now, you are going to see a terrifying financial reality. Thousands upon thousands of brand new pickup trucks are just sitting there. They are parked on the grass, they are overflowing into overflow lots, and they are covered in dust. The pickup truck market in 2026 has officially fractured. Dealers across the country are drowning in inventory, and because of floor plan interest rates, these unsold trucks are bleeding them dry. Buyers have finally woken up. They are refusing to pay $80,000 for experimental engines, terrifying electrical gremlins, and useless EV ranges. Today, we are pulling the raw, unfiltered data straight from CarEdge. We are counting down the top 10 pickup trucks with the absolute highest market day supply in America. These are the trucks that are rotting on lots with zero buyers in sight. If you are in the market for a truck, keep your wallet shut until you watch this list. Let's get into it. Number 10, 2026 Ford F-250 Super Duty. Kicking things off at number 10 is an absolute American icon that has completely lost its mind. The Ford F-250 Super Duty. Contractors, ranchers, and people who genuinely need to tow 20,000 pounds have relied on this truck for decades. But Ford got greedy, and the price tag has spiraled completely out of control. Right now, the average transaction price on an F-250 is sitting at $73,500. And we aren't talking about a fully loaded King Ranch wrapped in leather. That is the average. When you combine a $73,000 loan with modern interest rates and the cost of diesel fuel, you have a monthly carrying cost that destroys a contractor's profit margin. But it gets worse. Ford's quality control is failing. The 2026 F-250 has been slammed with severe recalls, including rear driveshaft separations, faulty axle shafts, and trailer brake failures. If you are towing heavy machinery, a trailer brake failure is a fatal flaw. According to CarEdge, the F-250 currently has 158 days of market supply. There are over 40,600 of these massive trucks backed up at dealerships nationwide. Working America simply cannot afford them anymore. Number 9, 2026 Ford Maverick. Number 9 is going to shock a lot of people. The 2026 Ford Maverick. Just a couple of years ago, this was the hottest vehicle on the planet. People were waiting on lists for 18 months, and dealerships were slapping insane $10,000 markups on them. Fast forward to today, and the script has completely flipped. Dealerships are begging you to buy them. So what happened? Ford panicked and vastly overproduced. They ramped up their factories to meet that massive initial demand, but they didn't realize that the hype was temporary. Every single early adopter who wanted a tiny hybrid truck already bought one. Now, the wave has crashed, and Ford is left holding the bag. It is still an affordable truck, averaging around $34,000. But buyers are getting tired of the constant infotainment glitches and recall history. The inventory bloat is staggering. The Maverick is sitting at 162 days of market supply, with over 43,000 units gathering dust on dealer lots. The hype train has officially derailed. Number 8, 2026 Ram 1500. At number 8, we have a massive, industry-shaking failure. The Ram 1500. The Ram 1500 used to be one of the best-selling, most beloved trucks in America. Today, the numbers are an absolute bloodbath. There are over 70,000 Ram 1500s parked at dealerships right now. That is an apocalyptic amount of unsold metal. Here is exactly why buyers are running away. Ram forced a massive powertrain transition on their customers. They killed off the legendary, bulletproof 5.7-liter Hemi V8 and replaced it with a highly complex, twin-turbo inline-six called the Hurricane. This created a disaster on the lots, where old Hemi trucks and new Hurricane trucks are fighting for the same buyers. But the real problem is the Hurricane engine's reliability. Owner forums are exploding with reports of severe electrical gremlins. We are talking about completely blank instrument clusters, terrifying no-start conditions, and parasitic battery drains that kill the truck overnight. Some of these failures are happening at just 1,000 miles. You cannot ask a working man to spend $60,000 on a truck that won't start in the morning. CarEdge confirms a 162-day supply. Ram is in deep trouble. Number 7. 2026 Ram 2500. Moving right up the heavy-duty ladder, number 7 is the Ram 2500. It carries an even worse supply metric than the 1500, and this comes down strictly to economics. You have to understand who buys a 3/4-ton truck. It's commercial buyers, construction companies, and farmers. These business sectors are being absolutely crushed by tight credit conditions. When a contractor goes to the bank and is handed an 8 or 9% interest rate on a commercial vehicle loan, they simply walk away and keep driving their old truck. Furthermore, CarEdge data shows that nearly half of all trade-in shoppers are currently underwater on their last vehicle loan. When you combine massive negative equity with an average Ram 2500 price tag of nearly $69,000, the math becomes financial suicide. The result? 192 days of market supply, with over 32,500 units completely backed up at dealerships across the country. Number 6. 2026 Chevrolet Silverado EV. Number 6 brings us into the electric graveyard, the Chevrolet Silverado EV. General Motors priced this truck at an average of nearly $75,000, and the market is completely rejecting it. When you charge $75 grand for a pickup, the buyer demands absolute capability. They need to tow heavy trailers across state lines. But the commercial working crowd has completely dismissed the EV truck concept. While the Silverado EV makes great horsepower, the moment you attach a 10,000-pound trailer to the back, the battery range gets cut in half. No contractor is going to stop at a charging station for 45 minutes in the middle of a workday just to get their equipment to the job site. While there are only about 1,900 of these sitting on lots nationally, the sales pace is so catastrophically slow that it translates to 199 days of market supply. That means dealers are sitting on nearly 7 months of dead EV inventory that nobody wants to touch. If you are finding this data helpful and you want to protect your wallet in 2026, hit that like button and subscribe. We pull this raw market data every single week to keep you informed. Let's look at the top 5. Number 5. 2026 Ram 3500. Breaking into the top 5 is the most capable pickup Ram manufactures, the 2506 Ram 3500. Just like its 2500 sibling, the buyer pool for massive dually work trucks is completely shrinking. Businesses are holding off on purchases, and the pricing has reached absurd levels. The average Ram 3500 is currently stickering for just over $77,000. But here is the insider secret that dealers don't want you to think about. The heavy-duty Rams are built in Saltillo, Mexico. That massive $77,000 price tag has massive tariffs baked right into it. You are looking at a truck where a standard 72-month loan could easily result in a $1,300 to $1,400 monthly car payment. People are not going to pay a mortgage payment for a depreciating work tool. CarEdge shows a massive 200 days of market supply with over 12,000 units rotting on dealership lots. Number 4. 2026 GMC Sierra EV. Number 4 is the pinnacle of the EV truck failure, the GMC Sierra EV. This truck carries the absolute highest average transaction price of anything on this list, sitting at an eye-watering $81,000. And the market is violently rejecting it, leaving it with a massive 225 days of supply. General Motors is trying to market this as a premium lifestyle truck. And yes, the interior is gorgeous. But here is the massive flaw in their logic. Lifestyle buyers who have 80 grand to spend don't actually need a truck. They buy luxury SUVs. And hardcore truck guys who actually need a bed completely refuse to buy an EV. High-income buyers are also incredibly smart with their money. They watched the early adopters lose $40,000 in EV truck depreciation over the last 2 years. They know an $81,000 Sierra EV will be worth half of that in 36 months. With roughly 2,600 units stranded nationally, this is a financial disaster. Number 3. 2026 Hyundai Santa Cruz. Number 3 is a fascinating case study in automotive failure, the Hyundai Santa Cruz. This isn't a real body-on-frame truck. It is a unibody crossover, essentially a Hyundai Tucson with the roof chopped off the back. When it first launched, it was quirky and unique. But in 2026, buyers have realized the truth. The Santa Cruz falls into a terrible middle ground. It doesn't have the payload, towing capacity, or rugged suspension of a real truck like the Toyota Tacoma. Yet, it is priced higher than standard compact SUVs that give you way more enclosed cargo space. In this tight economy, consumers are incredibly careful with their money. A cool factor is not enough to justify an average price of $36,500 for a compromised vehicle. It currently sits at an alarming 229 days of market supply, with nearly 9,650 units taking up space across the country. Number 2. 2026 Jeep Gladiator. Number 2 is the most heavily discounted, desperate vehicle in America right now, the Jeep Gladiator. The Gladiator sounds amazing on paper, a convertible off-roader with a truck bed. But the reality of living with one is miserable. It has a tiny bed, terrible towing capacity, atrocious aerodynamics, and horrible gas mileage. You are giving up every practical aspect of a real mid-sized truck just to have the Jeep badge. The regional data on this truck is insane. While the national average is 233 days of supply, in certain regions of the country, dealerships have 500 to 650 days of unsold Gladiators choking their lots. Jeep is in full panic mode. They are offering aggressive 0% financing and massive cash-on-the-hood rebates. They are practically paying people to take these things off their hands. With over 21,000 units sitting unsold at an average price of $49,000, 0% APR is not going to be enough to fix this hole. The Tesla Cybertruck secret. Now, before we hit the absolute worst truck in America, we need to address the elephant in the room. Where is the Tesla Cybertruck? Last year, the Cybertruck had a catastrophic inventory problem. So why isn't it on this CarEdge data list? Because Tesla used a very dirty, very quiet loophole. Tesla slammed the brakes on production at Gigafactory, Texas, pulling workers off the Cybertruck line. But more importantly, reports show that Elon Musk's other companies, including SpaceX and xAI, started quietly buying up unsold Cybertruck inventory to use as company fleet vehicles. Tesla didn't sell these trucks to actual retail customers. They essentially sold them to themselves to clear the lots and hide the massive lack of consumer demand. The inventory vanished, but not because people wanted them. Number 1. 2026 Ford F-150 Lightning. And finally, we reach number 1. The slowest selling, most radioactive pickup truck in America is the Ford F-150 Lightning. It is sitting at a devastating 250 days of market supply. But this isn't just about slow sales. This is about a manufacturer completely abandoning its own product. In late 2025, Ford made a massive announcement. They officially ended production of the pure EV Lightning. They pivoted their entire strategy to build an extended-range version that uses an onboard gas generator to recharge the battery while you drive, targeting 700 miles of range. Because of that announcement, the 3,900 pure EV Lightnings sitting on dealer lots right now are officially orphaned vehicles. They are the first-generation relics of a platform that Ford just completely walked away from. Dealerships are aggressively slashing prices and begging buyers to take them. But buyers are smart. Why would you spend $67,600 on a truck that the manufacturer itself admits was a failure? You are buying a dead platform with no future. So there you have it, the 10 pickup trucks that the market has completely rejected in 2026. The days of dealerships charging massive markups are officially over. The power is finally back in the buyer's hands, and the data proves it. If this deep dive gave you the insider information you need to protect your wallet, hit that subscribe button. We analyze the raw data every single week so you don't get trapped by the dealerships. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.